Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. This is my lovely wife Jen. I'm so excited for us to watch the new James Gunn Superman trailer. In real time, the trailer will be posted in about 10 minutes. It's one of the few times that we're actually on time with a reaction. If you're new here, it's kind of a running joke that we're always way late, like after the hype has died down that we actually react to stuff. I've been looking online about the general consensus of like how people feel about James Gunn directing a Superman movie, David Corenswet playing Superman, the feeling about what they did basically to Henry Cavill. And my thoughts on it are, I have liked every Superman iteration that we've had, really. Christopher Reeve, love him, classic, OG. Henry Cavill, loved him. I thought that he was fantastic. I know a lot of people didn't really like the Zack Snyder stuff. I'm kind of there. I like my Superman to be a little bit more Boy Scoutish, colorful, truth, justice, the American way type personality, which I think is what James Gunn is sort of going back to, or at least that's what I hear, with the new Superman iteration. But a lot of what happens online is it's either this is trash and this is great, and there's really no middle ground. Christopher Reeve is the best, Henry Cavill was trash, a garbage Superman. Henry Cavill's the best, and Christopher Reeve is nonsense. I have liked them all. I think tonally, this movie seems to be going in the direction that I kind of want just personally, what I want my Superman to be like. So I'm very optimistic. I want it to be good. I like James Gunn. I like the cast for the most part. The only familiarity I think either of us have with David Corenswet is from Twisters, the new one. I'd never seen him in anything prior to that, and he was kind of a jerky guy in that movie.
Who did he play?
He was one of the oppositional storm chasers, like our main group.
Oh, right.
I've seen a lot of behind the scenes photos. A lot of people are talking about the S design. They're bringing back the trunks. You know how Superman has like his underwear on the outside?
Yeah.
It's always been iconic with him. They took it away with Henry Cavill because people were like, this doesn't make any sense. It looks goofy, it looks stupid. They brought it back for this. James Gunn said that they weren't going to. It was actually David Corenswet who suggested that they do, because he's like, Superman isn't supposed to be intimidating to kids. Like, so when a kid sees this man in their underwear, it's like silly to them. They're not threatened by Superman. Or something along those lines, and basically convinced James Gunn to let him have it. And I like the iconic look. I know, I totally get the argument that it looks campy, it looks goofy, it looks silly. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I like Superman looking like that. How big a Superman fan are you? And we've watched a lot of the Superman movies on the channel.
Right.
How are you feeling checking out this new trailer?
I'm probably part of that very divided group that you were referring to. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he was great. I think that they did him wrong.
Me too.
I'm so disappointed that he is not going to be fulfilling Superman character anymore. Christopher Reeve, I think, is always going to be the OG as far as Superman goes, but I think that Henry Cavill filled those shoes very well. And so I'm a little bit disappointed that there's gonna be somebody else playing him, especially the only reference I have for this guy is a jerk from Twisters. Yeah, I'm not happy.
I feel like we could go on and on about the Henry Cavill situation because I think everybody likes Henry Cavill, just even as a person. In every interview I've seen him in, he always is like really down to earth. He always really cares about the source material of any project he's working on. The Witcher, Superman. He's a big nerd in real life, loves Warhammer 40K.
I'm still lost on Warhammer 40K. Why is he not playing Superman? James Gunn wanted to go in a different direction. What does that even mean?
I think they pretty much scrapped the whole DC.
Right, but why did that have to mean dropping him?
I think that there's just too much connection with, like, if they had continued with Henry Cavill but rebooted it, I think it would have just been too confusing, misconstrued. So I think they just wanted a clean slate to begin again. Not just with Superman, but with everyone moving forward.
Or they didn't like him playing him and they just didn't want to hurt his feelings. That's what I get from this.
I don't know about that because they told Henry Cavill and even had him promote on like his personal Instagram and had him in a post-credit scene for Black Adam where he's like, hey, we got a lot to talk about. So not only in universe, but also with Henry Cavill as the actor, we're prepping him that, hey, there's gonna be more Superman stuff, we're moving forward. Warner Brothers, at least at the time, was like they had committed to him that they were continuing on. So I think that this rug pull under him sucks for a multitude of reasons. But I think ultimately they were just like, you know, with James Gunn coming on and the state of the DCU, the whole thing with Zack Snyder and then moving past that, they were just like, we just want to start over. Respect Henry Cavill, but moving on. Rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. Rubbed me the wrong way because I like Henry Cavill. I like his Superman. And I think that he really didn't get, and I can see people getting upset with this because of how many movies he was in, but he didn't really get the chance to just be Superman. He was always kind of tied to something else. We had Man of Steel, I know, but after that, it was always a part of Justice League, always a part of The Flash, or, you know, whatever else.
Well, I will say that if this guy works out as Superman, I mean, they better stick with that, because what I'm noticing is kind of a habit with DC where they like start over, give it some time for it to marinate, stick with this actor as Superman so we can build some sort of attachment to him. I guess that's my like big fear, even if I do like this guy, that either he's gonna just be in 1 or 2 movies and then that's it.
I've heard the Superman from the Superman and Lois show, like the CW Superman, was actually a pretty good Superman. You know, I never watched the show, but from what I understand, he was a pretty good character too. But on the surface, it seems like everything that I'm asking for in a Superman seems a lot more hopeful. David Cornsweet definitely looks the part. I like Rachel Brosnahan, who's gonna be Lois. James Gunn, I like. He can be a little hit or miss for me as far as like little details in his movies, but overall, I think that he cares. Fingers crossed, I hope that it's good. In real time, we have 2 minutes until the trailer drops, and we're gonna check it out. Please be good. Please. That's how Superman Returns started.
Seems like he's got a little more fluff in his hair.
Oh, he's bleeding too. Do you bleed? I like Rachel Brosnahan. I got cows.
Aww.
Oh, I think that's crypto.
A dog is in this?
The super dog, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
This is gonna be the best movie ever. Oh, that's nice.
Love it. Love that.
Superman. That's Lex Luthor.
Yeah. It's like...
Superman.
Okay, we got some Justice League characters in here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like they gave us enough. There was no dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit worried that this isn't going to be a Superman movie now. This was not my worry prior, but there were a lot of other characters coming in. I saw Hawk Girl in there, a couple other various characters. I know that James Gunn wants to expand the DC universe. We're kind of doing the whole Avengers situation again. I really want a Superman movie. I didn't get a whole lot of like, okay, let me hear him talk, let me hear how he sounds. Let me feel his presence. I didn't get a whole lot of that. I can see some people saying that it had sort of a CW, like it looks almost like a TV show.
Yeah.
A little bit at some parts. I was so hyped for this trailer, and I'm not upset. I'm just like, I needed a little bit more, something a little bit more tangible. We got Superman in the snow bleeding. Of course, that makes you wonder, well, what happened? Superman doesn't bleed unless he's suppose, a Kryptonite or Doomsday or something, you know, somebody that could actually hurt him. Looks like they might focus a lot on the love story between Clark or Superman and Lois. You expect from that, but they were focusing. There were several shots of them being together and all that. I'm not fully convinced. All hope is not lost, but I'm still like, there's just something I'm not getting. It's not there. I can't quite put my finger on it. I love the score. I will say that. Thought the music was great. I think that there's some odes to the original Christopher Reeve theme in there. Love the score. I just watched it, just right out the gate. That's how I'm feeling about it. What about you?
Being that this is the first time that we've seen this actor play Superman, I really don't like the idea of also bringing in all these other new characters. You were like listing off a whole bunch. I feel like we need that foundation movie to really acclimate to that actor playing him, have that attachment to him, learn to love him. If that's overshadowed by the introduction of all these other characters and the relationships and whatever else is going on with them, I think that's gonna kind of make that difficult for me, at least. It looked like there was a lot of cool scenes, a lot of emotional scenes in this movie. We're gonna be so busy with all the other static going on, so that's my biggest concern. But I love that there's a dog in this. I love that Crypto is in this.
Yeah. You mentioned the other characters coming in, and I think that that's a testament to how the audiences have changed over time. I think 10, 15 years ago, seeing a brief clip of Hawkgirl would have been like, oh my God. But now we're kind of over it. Now it's like everything trends kind of cycle. And I think I'm back to where I'm like, I just want to see a movie about Superman and not really a whole lot of other things connected to it right now. Whereas before it was like, we couldn't wait to see the post-credit scene. I couldn't wait. Oh my gosh, is that Thor's hammer? Is Thor I think we're kind of past that just as audience members and want to go back to those just singular character movies. I'm not saying that they can't be connected in any way, and to be fair, I don't know like the extent of these other characters that they showed, like how much they actually will be in the movie. But the fact that they're teasing them in the trailer as like a hook for me to want to see it, Superman's enough.
There's a frustration when the idea is let's add more when we don't even have the basics. I will say the actor that is playing Superman looked great.
Yeah, he looks the part.
I think that he looks a lot better than I thought that he was going to. Even the costume I thought looked really, really great.
This movie is up against a number of oppositions. People are going to be really upset about the Henry Cavill thing, rightly so even. I'm still upset about that. DC, as you pointed out, is kind of in a lull, but if there was ever a time to strike against Marvel, now is the time, because Marvel is probably at its weakest point it's been in 2 decades. And Superman being the iconic, the quintessential superhero character, you gotta get it right. But you know what? These are just some of our thoughts coming right off the heels of the trailer. Let us know what you think down in the comments below, because you probably had a little bit more time to think on it and watch it a few more times than we have. Pinpoint a couple of things that we might have missed. So let us know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. It does help the channel out a lot. Subscribe so you can be notified when we post the next video. We have Patreon, a lot of great stuff over there, exclusive content there too. But for now, that is it. My wife and I, Jen, appreciate you watching. We'll catch you in the next video, everyone. Take care.